And so inevitably, because this is Devi Dam, this is Maya's, not kingdom, queendom, but this, this is Maya's realm here. And so therefore, someone offends us, someone cheats us, someone hurts us. I trusted someone and they cheated me, or I gave my heart to someone and they did not reciprocate. They all these things. And so we become angry. We become discouraged. And so we become attached to that. Jane Austen actually always talks about this, how attached people become to their suffering, and they want to squeeze every drop of pleasure out of it. It's like, and that's why when people are suffering, they can't stop talking about it. Because if you think about it, when you're suffering, it's just the mirror reflection of enjoying. Because whether you are a victim and suffering, and that's a very prestigious position to be a victim. It's like winning the Tour de France or something, to be a victim. It's a very prestigious position. So when you're a victim, or when everything is successful, yeah, I did that. Of course, it's Krishna's mercy, but yeah, actually, I did that. So in both those situations, we are full of ourselves. So if you think about it, when you're depressed, it's just another way of becoming completely absorbed in yourself and thinking about yourself all day and night and talking about yourself constantly. And so, in other words, false ego will always, it's like water. Where water's flowing, it'll always find some way to go. If the water can't go this way, it'll go another way. And so false ego's like that. False ego, the first choice is that I want to engage my false ego positively. But if I can't, I'll engage my false ego negatively, because, that's better than nothing. And some people are so psychologically unusual that they actually prefer the negative false ego, and they prefer to be suffering. And they're like these, the way I put it, like when I was in Brazil, in South America, on the farm, I noticed there's this type of tropical bug. Maybe you also have it in Bosnia, where, of course, Krishna has given all good things. So there's this bug.
Bugs.
Yes, there's this bug, and it sort of lives at night. At night, it's a beetle. And at night, it flies around, and then it starts to die when the sun comes up, and it falls on its back. You've seen that? It's on its back. And then if you take the bug and put it back on its legs, it'll take 3 steps and flip over on its back again. Some people are like that. Some people are only comfortable when they're victims, and they actually feel they're just not comfortable unless they're in a victim position. That's just the way they engage their false ego. They need to be victims. So you can see there are certain devotees that they're in some community, and no, these people mistreated me, they didn't understand me, and so I'm not going to talk to them. And then they go to some other city, and like the little beetle, they just and then it's just amazing bad luck. They can go to 20 different communities, and they will be victims in all 20 communities, and it's which just shows how evil the world is. So. So actually being a victim is just, for some people, it's just their strategy for a good life. Because if you think about it, if you think about what it means to be a victim, first of all, it means you are the center of all attention, and everyone needs to hear about your troubles. Everyone needs to give you sympathy. Everyone needs to think about you and talk about you and be angry at those who have offended you. And also it means, as a victim, you have a very high exalted moral status, because the victim is sort of like the child of society. Everyone should help the victim. Everyone should love the victim. And also it allows you to engage in hatred, which is a very seductive emotion. Hatred is, it's one of the great pleasures of the material world. Because if you think about it, what actually happens when you hate something or somebody? What is happening psychologically? You are putting yourself in a position which is absolutely, not even relatively, absolutely superior to that person. So that person is morally 0 and you are morally 100. It's like someone has offended you, someone has hurt you, and so in an absolute radical way, you gain total moral superiority over that person. And you deserve the sympathy, the attention of everyone. And any good, decent human being will stop whatever else they're thinking about or talking about and think and talk about you. And if they don't think and talk about you, that person is also morally deficient.